This person said it didn't get over 70 likes. WTF, under that. Not good news. Not a Notre Dame fan, but that's wild. Anyone know the reason? Is it for money? I'm not going to get too amped up, but if you don't know what you're talking about, I'm not even saying do everyone else a favor. Do yourself a favor. Save yourself the embarrassment. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you had a great week. Hope all of you having a great Friday night. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, we got to talk about a subject, a topic that you guys have been blowing me up about and spamming me on Twitter. Now, I'm not going to hold you. I originally saw this yesterday, like some of you may have as well, and I was not going to make a video. I was like, yeah, not worthy of one. But then when I woke up early this morning around 6:30, 6:45, got my morning coffee and whatnot, went to Twitter, and even some people on Instagram were still sending it to me saying, yo, Matt, you got to cover this. I want to hear your thoughts. So here we are. This is a relatively simple channel. Your boy Matt is a fan of the people, and I want to give the people what they want. Simple as that. Can't dumb it down anymore. I just didn't think too many people wanted to see a video on this, but I guess y'all do. And plus, too, I think it works out pretty good because it's Friday night. There is literally nothing else going on in the sports world. You got a couple college basketball games going on, but there's no NFL, no college football. There's just nothing to do. So since there's nothing to watch in the sports world, your boy Matt will try his best to entertain you for roughly 10 minutes or so. By the way, we're not doing no intro, none of that. I don't got time to waste. You don't got time to waste either. We're jumping straight into this. What is this comment I just stumbled across, though? Mart's legacy. Name's not Mart. It's Matt. So I don't know who you're referring to, will live on forever. He was getting quite old as he approached 85. So now I'm 85, but it still seemed that he went away from us too soon. R.I.P. Mart. I'm not even 1/3 of the way to 85, but okay, man. And what is this? Yurit, I hope I'm saying that correctly, super chatted $2. As always, that's greatly appreciated, completely unnecessary, but that will go to a good cause, and said, goodbye. That's all he said. Matt still be, hashtag by the way, Matt still be faking content in 2025. What are we faking? I'm done with the comments. Let's get into this college football stuff and more importantly, Notre Dame stuff, their dilemma they have ongoing. So as we all know, the good old irrelevant Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they had a marvelous season. It was good, but unfortunately, they lost to Willowboro State in the national championship, so it was a all-for-nothing situation and ordeal. I'll give you a couple great examples. What's the point in basketball if you split two defenders, do a spin move into a Euro step, and you blow the layup? You see what I'm saying? A $100 move doesn't matter if you have a 2-cent finish. Same thing can be said in golf. Imagine you're playing a par 4, you pipe your drive down the middle of the fairway, you hit a good approach shot, you got a 4-footer for birdie, and you blow it. What was the point of hitting those two really good shots if you're blowing the birdie opportunity? Yeah, tap-in par is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but it takes away from the great moment you could have had. Same thing with Notre Dame not winning the national championship. And I talked about this a couple days ago when we made that Notre Dame video. I have the Ricky Bobby mentality. If you're not first, you're last. Here's the last thing I'm going to say before we move on to what we really need to be talking about. Two things can be true. You can have a great season, in which Notre Dame did. They had a lot of great victories. I think they had, it was either 4 or 5 top 10 wins this season. However, it can still not amount to a hill of beans because you didn't cap it off. And I know some people are going to take that the wrong way, but it's reality. If you don't win a national championship that season, it doesn't matter. We may come back to that in just a second. Long story short, Notre Dame, they lose the national championship, yada, 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 you get the point. Well, yesterday, what I would label as somewhat shocking news comes out that not just their starting center, but their starting right guard have both entered the transfer portal? Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly, and you can see it and read it right here for yourself. Everyone's immediate reaction to this was, holy crap, they're losing 2 starters on the offensive line? This is huge news. But if you do a little digging and research or you've been keeping up with the Notre Dame football team, you would know there's more to this story. For starters, if you've been keeping up with the Notre Dame football team, you would know that Pat Coogan and the right guard, Rocco Spindler, were only starting because of injuries. And then you also have ignorant people like this commenting on subjects in which they have no idea what's going on or what they're talking about. And that drives me crazy. I couldn't imagine speaking on a situation in which I'm not 100% informed about. Holy cow, I thought the high and mighty Notre Dame was all about academics first, football second. Listen up, buddy, and there's hundreds and thousands of comments like this. If you knew what you were talking about, you would know that both of these young men already have their degrees or they're about to get them. So for all the people that are going to run in this comment section and say, oh, well, I thought Notre Dame players, it was all about high integrity, high morals, and it's not just about football, it's about academics. It still is. These guys already got their diploma. So that is number one. These guys were not going to start next year. Would they have helped the team next year? Absolutely, but I'll get to that in just a second. A little foreshadowing. This person said it didn't get over 70 likes. WTF, under that. Not good news. Not a Notre Dame fan, but that's wild. Anyone know the reason? Is it for money? And then, of course, like always on social media, you got people talking out of their ASS. I've been around long enough to know whenever a decision doesn't make sense, the reason for it is almost always financial. They accepted higher offers elsewhere, and that's just not true. It's because they were not going to start next year. I mean, look at this stuff. This makes no sense. You just played in the national championship game, and why throw away a degree from a prestigious school like Notre Dame? How much better can you get? You already have the best of both worlds. Unless they transfer to Auburn, then I'm all for it. I'm not going to get too amped up, but yet again, if you don't know, and I'm talking to you guys, if you don't know what you're talking about, I'm not even saying do everyone else a favor. Do yourself a favor. Save yourself the embarrassment. Do not open your mouth and don't get embarrassed. And I know y'all are going to label Matt as some evil person and a villain for telling these people to shut up if they don't know what they're talking about, but it is what it is. It's okay to not understand why these players are transferring. It's another thing to not know what's going on, and you're trying to act like you do. Does that make sense? I've also seen a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, they're leaving for more money because Notre Dame wasn't going to pay them. Let's talk about that for a second. Will some other school out here in the Power 4 offer them some NIL money? Sure. I'm almost certain of that. But it's not going to be anything life-changing or substantial. Maybe at max, I'd say both of these guys are worth $75,000, $100,000 in the transfer portal. I'm going to remind you, you were talking about backup offensive linemen, not starters, backups. They may start wherever they go, but currently, backups. They just started because the original guys that were going to start, they got hurt. They also don't have a lot of leverage. Let me explain there. Because when they talk to these new teams, they're already going to know, hey, you left Notre Dame because you weren't good enough to play there, so we're not going to offer you the big-time bucks. Before we end up this video, and this is the last thing we're going to talk about, let's address how much, if any, this affects Notre Dame. And I do think it affects them a little bit. It seems too many people don't understand that maintaining backup players of high quality is going to be the issue going forward. People don't want to be backups and miss out on NIL money, so they will hit the road for the highest bidder. I don't agree with it, but they have to take care of themselves. And that's one of the best comments you're ever going to see. That is the downside to this new era of college football. You're not going to have very many, if any, quality backups on these teams like Notre Dame, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, etc., etc. I know what some of you may be sitting there saying, well, Mr. Matt, why are we not going to have quality backups? Great question, my friend. I'd love to answer it. Actually, I really don't even got to answer it because this comment answers it right here, but I'll elaborate a little more. It's a very simple thing to understand. If you're a quote-unquote quality backup, well, that means you're probably good enough to not just play, but start elsewhere, and that school is going to offer you some money. So instead of being a backup at Notre Dame and getting, I don't know, probably no dollars, no money on, we'll just say you're getting 10 to 15,000, why not go to Kentucky? Why not go to Auburn? Why not go to Ole Miss? A team in the Big Ten where you can start and they'll give you $80,000. And it's great for the players. It's actually fantastic for them. Great to understating it. But for the teams, it's awful. Because these two starters that are leaving Notre Dame on the offensive line, they've proven they can play at a high level. I'm not saying they're great at a high level, but they can most certainly play. You can throw them in there and you really don't got to worry about them. Well, what happens next year if the same thing happens? Notre Dame has some injuries on the offensive line. You see where I'm going with this. These two guys, they're not going to be there. The days of having a quality backup, long story short, they're all but over. As far as it goes for Notre Dame moving forward, they're fine. They're big chilling. This is nothing to overreact to. They're not going to win a national championship next year or anytime soon for that sake, but they doing all right. Let me know your thoughts down below. But